This is Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. Always good to be joined by Mr. Frank Smith here at the Next Gen press conference. Newcastle, how are we, mate?
I'm good, mate. It's always big when you're here, Parsons. We're becoming a famous man. People asking questions about you. You are something special, Parsons.
I'm here every week, so that would suggest that every week's big, right?
That's what I was trying to say. Well, but
and that's all because of me.
Basically, without you, I'm not sure it would have ever been the same. But you've come onto the scene and it's never, just gone from strength to strength, Parsons.
No, that is true, actually. What would you do views-wise if I wasn't here?
I know. I mean, TikTok may not even be in business if you weren't around.
True.
So, a lot of people have you to thank.
I'm sure they do. Frank, breaking news. Dazn will be accessible for viewers on Sky. I know. Yeah, I didn't know what was behind me. I didn't know if it was Dan asking what I was asking. It's actually Big Luke. Dazn will be accessible on Sky.
Huge news. It makes it the most accessible platform out there. You watch it on your phone, you watch it on your laptop, you watch it on your smart TV, on your PC, on the Sky platform. The argument of it's not available on Sky. Well, here it is. It's there. And it's been something Dazn have been working on for a long time. These things take time to progress. We've only been going in the UK for 18 months now, and this is a big step in what's been worked on by the Dazn team. And like I say, it's now the most accessible platform out there. So, it's an important day, special day for the platform.
Well, obviously, I want to sort of go into some of Buatsi's comments regarding it not being accessible and them having to sign up on the app and everything. But just first things first, getting it onto Sky in the first place. How did that sort of all play out? Because obviously, I don't know what the working relationship's like now. Obviously, they've got a boxer with them. How did this all come about in the first place?
Well, yeah, it's a process Dazn worked through. It's a discussion that's, a bit like, as I say, been in talks for a long time. As you see, there's a lot of different broadcasters on the Sky platform. Similar to, you got BT on there, for example, which is a separate subscription for BT on the Sky platform. So it's the same as that, essentially. It's a discussion they've been having for a while, and yeah, it's great to get it out there. Big news.
All right, Frank, Joshua Buatsi has signed with Boxer. Yesterday we saw the unveiling. Just first things first, caught up with Eddie last week, and he said that he had exercised the matching rights. I imagine this means that Boxer have put in an exceeding offer?
No, look, I don't want to go into all the detail today of, everything around the matching rights. That's something we'll work through with the team on our end. But, I was disappointed, I think, because I feel like we had a good relationship with Joshua Buatsi. I feel like we delivered for him. Worked with him for over 5 years since he turned professional. Delivered him some big opportunities that, maybe didn't make sense for him in his mind. But, we delivered him the opportunity to fight Dimitri Bivol, which he turned down. I see him saying about it comes with other obligations, but that is the sport. We would have gone away to deliver a voluntary challenge against Dimitri Bivol. Now that's a big job. It's not easy to go and take on the number one 175-pound fighter. And it's not unusual in the sport. He's gone and signed a 2-3 year deal, whatever the deal is, with Sky and Boxer. So that's very standard to deliver opportunities to someone. And like I say, it's unfortunate because I felt like we had a good relationship, and ashamed to see.
I know you don't want to sort of touch on this matching rights stuff too much, but I did read something yesterday that there's got to be a certain time exercised at that. Is there a potential legal dispute here?
Look, again, I don't want to get into the back and forth. These interviews, we look like we're the, if we go on and on about things, we look like we're the party who's sort of trying to cause issues, etc. I'm going to leave that with the team to work through all the detail around the matching rights, etc. Like I say, the key focus for me was some of his comments made yesterday weren't really the most tasteful, especially in the relationship I feel we had together over the time. But we have to focus on our business. I'm very confident in our business. I'm very confident in what we do. The Sky announcement today is huge. And we go on from there. The talk about downloading an app. I mean, I'm not being funny. We're in 2023. Everything's an app. Everything's on the phone. Netflix has got 230 million subscribers globally. It's the world we're in now. The world is moving that way. I don't watch TV anymore. I watch Netflix, Amazon. I watch things on my phone. The world's changing. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say, no, Sky's not the biggest sports platform out there. Of course it is right now. Of course it is in the UK. But there are many ways to build a fighter and many different platforms to do that on. Whether that's terrestrial as well with the BBC, partnerships like that, whether it's with other social media agencies, there's a lot of ways to build someone. So, you know, like I say, some of the comments I don't agree with, but the more thing I'm focused on is that, you know, I hoped we had a good relationship from the time I'd spent with Buatsi, but, you know, we go from there.
Just lastly on that, he picked up on a couple of Eddie's comments saying, you know, he likes a holiday and injuries and etc., missing fights and inactivity and whatever. He came out and said the Vlasov fight was the only fight that he was injured for. A lot of people deem that as the real step up that he needed before that world title fight. We obviously know that yourself, Matchroom, were petitioning for him to get the Bivol fight when Ramirez got it. Obviously wasn't accepted by the WBA. So, you know, we have seen, and we know that Twitter's usually against your guys, but sort of you a little bit sort of behind you this time, do you think? Not that it matters, but...
Yeah, look, we're not getting in a Twitter war about things like, you know, people have their views, people have their ideas of what they think's right. Light's gone off, we're still rolling. People have their views on, you know, who's done right, wrong, etc. You know, we delivered Joshua Buatsi the big opportunities. He didn't always have the best momentum. He did sometimes go away and would miss opportunities to fight. But that's that. You know, we move on from there, and it's. You know, I'm not going to get involved in a back and forth because it doesn't do anyone any good. It just makes us look bitter, and we're just focused on our business and doing what we do best, which is delivering for fighters like we've done for the last 40 years of the sport, and especially in the last 15 years at a level no one else has come close to. So, you know, I'm not going to get involved in back and forth as much as you would like me to, Parsons. You have got the wrong man for that.
Next gen, Patterson versus Jenkins.
Next gen?
You've been next gen for about 10 years, mate. Surely I'm the next gen, right?
No, you're under gen, or whatever you call it. But you got to remember, right? Eddie, when I met Eddie, he was 28 or 29. When we started back in boxing, he was about 30, right? I'm 30 now. He was the next gen back then, so why don't I get to speak? Just because I've been around for a long time and I'm looking old. Don't start on me.
I wasn't, but I was actually trying to promote your show, Frank, and you wanted to promote yourself.
We move on to the... No, I didn't. I just said next gen, and that's why you got me. So
I'm the under gen.
You're under gen. I'm not sure if that's even a word, but we'll
just
go
gen, maybe.
Yeah. Gen Z. No, you're Gen Z, aren't you? Gen Z, or same thing, Gen Z, Gen Z. We'll take any of them.
Yeah, big step up for Cyrus Patterson. Main event in here in Newcastle. Takes on Chris Jenkins. Chris Jenkins, British champion until fairly recently. Was doing all right in the Florian Marku fight and other sort of couple of fights. Not got the best record in his last 5 perhaps, but probably a good step up for someone like Cyrus.
Yeah, look, Cyrus had 6 fights. You know, he's ready to step up. He's ready to main event a show. I'm glad we got the next gen shows back up and running. We had a period where obviously our focus was on the bigger nights. Now, you know, we've got next gens sort of looking to do 4 of these a year, and it gives the young fighters the opportunity to feel what it's like to headline a show and build up from there. You know, especially in this market, Newcastle's an important market for us. We've had some massive nights here with the likes of Lewis Ritson over the years, and you know the atmosphere and the event that has been created. I think, you know, something we really focused on: Cyrus Patterson, Callum French, Pat McCormack, Mark Dickinson. You know, so some great local fighters. So, you know, it's a big push for us. And yeah, Cyrus, big step up for him. As you say, maybe Chris hasn't had the results in his last few fights, but you know, this is a big step up for Cyrus from where he is.
I feel like the North East could become a bit of a stomping ground for Matchroom in the next couple of years.
Yeah, look, we've been here for the last few years. As I say, you know, Lewis Ritson, what we did there together with Lewis Ritson, you know, was quite amazing. We had some great nights, as I said. You know, you even got Robert Ismay as well, who's fighting Sol Dakers, who's from around here. You know, he sold a load of tickets as well. So I think there's massive opportunity here to do some big things. But yeah, massive card as well outside of just the local guys. You know, you got Hopi Price as well in his first title fight. Excited for Hopi because, you know, we just signed a new long-term deal with him, and you know, we really want to build something up with him there. Maisie Rose Courtney on the card as well, which is great. Muhammad Ali's professional debut. You know, so stacked card from top to bottom.
I nearly put a pun in there, but I won't.
What were you going to say?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Was it a Muhammad Ali?
Obviously.
Oh. What are the chances? I was actually going to say something myself. I thought, I'll steer clear.
Leave it. Frank, Canelo versus John Ryder has been announced. It is a mandatory fight, but a lot of us are certainly on UK shores believe a real deserving fight for him. Just how excited are you to have that over the line? Cinco de Mayo, Guadalajara.
Yeah, look, massive night in Guadalajara, 50,000 people at the Akron Stadium. Delighted that John Ryder's got the opportunity because he's worked hard for a long, long time. When you think back to 8-9 years ago when he fought Billy Joe Saunders in a purse bid that Frank Warren won, who would have thought now, 8-9 years later, that John Ryder would be taking on Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed 168-pound titles? It's going to be a special night, a special occasion. Canelo going back to Guadalajara, massive, massive fight, and John Ryder deserves this opportunity. Especially he beat Danny Jacobs early last year, then went in on an away show, beat Zach Parker. A lot of us believed he would go in there and beat Zach Parker, and he did. He did the job on him. So it's going to be a great fight and another huge addition to the schedule.
Taylor Cameron announced, Dublin, May 20th, my birthday week. I cannot wait for that one. The first time two current undisputed champions have come toe-to-toe. There was a little bit of doubt as to whether it would be over the line, but we got it made. You must be thrilled with that one.
Yeah, look, we worked hard to get that over the line. It was... both fighters wanted it. We just needed to make sure they got what they deserved for it. Delighted that got over the line. Massive fight, and the focus always for us was to make sure that Katie got to go back to Dublin, got to have that professional debut in Dublin, and it's going to be a night you will never ever forget. I think it's going to be one of the best shows we ever do, and tough fight, and respect to both of them. Katie stepping up to look to become a two-weight undisputed champion. Chantel Cameron never shied away. It's a fight she's called for a long time, and delighted we could deliver it. And all part of your Dazn subscription, which you can also watch on Sky Channel 429, Parsons.
Thank you for that one, Frank. Joshua Franklin, April 1st, couple of weeks away now. Eddie was with Joshua yesterday. I know a couple of the 258 team are out there saying he's in good spirits and that everything's going swimmingly. Just first hand for you, what have you heard and how excited are you to have the return of AJ in, I suppose, another sort of part of his career now?
Yeah, look, 100%. This is like a new start in his career. He's gone over to train with Derek James in Dallas. Apparently, I haven't seen him, I haven't been there myself, but looking in unbelievable shape, training harder than ever. This is a time where he wants to show what he can do. He's got enough money, he could quite easily have walked away from the sport, but he still has dreams and aspirations to become an undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. He's fully focused on that. Looking forward to getting him back out. Jermaine Franklin looking in great shape as well, to be fair. Looks like he's been training really hard. It's an exciting fight. Again, all available as well on 429, as well as the Dazn platform. Any app, anywhere you want to watch it, you can. April 1st, don't miss it.
Frank, ticket sales, do you believe in the UK with some events, Joshua Franklin perhaps, they're starting to move more towards an American transition? We saw when Serrano Cruz was announced, there was still a couple of thousand tickets available on fight week. Come fight night, it was sold out. Do you think we'll see a similar trend for Joshua Franklin? I
think where people are, it's tough times financially as well. And that's one thing we have to appreciate in the world. It's tough times for people. So I think I'm very confident by the time April 1st comes around, you will see a sold-out O2. There won't be a seat left in there. I think times are changing. The bigger nights will sell immediately, and the ones like this, where people may have a preconceived view of what the fight's going to be. This is not an easy fight for Anthony Joshua, but I think by the time the show comes around, you're going to see a sellout, and I do think you're going to see some later sales moving forward.
Undercard hasn't quite been announced for that yet. Sort of how imminent will that be? Obviously, with the fight only being 15 or so days away. Tomorrow.
Hopefully, we're working through a few final bits tonight. A lot of the stuff's been together and in talks for a while, but we just want to get everything out together. So tomorrow you'll see the announcement on that, I hope.
Abu Dhabi, early June. Do we have a front runner to who will be headlining that yet?
Look, we're working on a few options. There's a lot of talk, obviously, about Conor Benn against Manny Pacquiao. I think it's a huge fight, but there's also the possibility, do we look at the Conor Benn Eubank fight as well, amongst some other options. So, lots to be done there, and we're working every hour on that.
Sean Gibbons said that the ball is in your court now, they're ready to go. Manny Pacquiao was a name that Eddie come out originally and said, look, if there's any fight we can make, this will be the one. Why hasn't that been made then in that case?
Yeah, we're just going through the detail currently, back and forth a few, lots. It takes a lot to make these fights. So, just wait and see, Parsons. It's coming soon, be patient, and it'll be with you.
Will Conor Benn be the headline?
That's definitely the one of the focuses, yeah. What are you trying to,
I'm just asking you if Conor Benn is the head. Oh, it's my job, Frank.
I know.
Not to harass you, but...
Yeah. I'll turn up at my room later.
That's a bit weird, mate.
Ask more questions.
Mean Comments, which is going out this week as well.
Was it? Oh, great. We'll get 2 interviews back-to-back with Mean Comments.
Frank Smith, thank you very much, mate.
Charlie Parsons, thank you very much, mate. Appreciate your presence.